Every single white male is a piece of shit, and the woman is the hero, and all authority is bad, and all business is bad, but government is good as social. And most people don't know what they're watching. She, unfortunately, sort of pulled the curtain back, and people knew exactly what was going on. Yes, Toolman.
It has come to the attention of many observers that the upcoming Snow White film, often referred to as Snow White 2025.
Oh, okay, great.
Her being a retard.
Okay.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
That
is
not going to be saved by
You
the
wrote
prince.
it?
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Along with troubling tensions between the film's top-billed stars. Many critics and audiences alike have reached a point where they have grown tired of what they perceive to be a repetitive messaging style from Disney.
Our rights are on the line, folks.
Bitch!
The
Our
right to buy
reproductive
Cosby
rights.
sweaters?
Come on.
That's the face
Go
of a
vote blue.
serial killer.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button.
In a stark illustration of the gravity of the situation, some are even calling this one of Disney's biggest missteps in recent memory, with dire projections for its profitability. Before discussing the specifics, it's vital to note that this version of Snow White, slated for release in 2025, is not only under scrutiny from fans for creative decisions and casting choices, but also faces serious financial repercussions. The film is said to be losing an immense amount of money. Some individuals with insight into Hollywood economics suggest that the losses could amount to millions of dollars. This claim is not baseless hearsay. The general public has vocally expressed dissatisfaction and frustration with the direction Disney has taken on multiple fronts, from storytelling aspects to marketing strategies, as well as broader ideological overtones perceived in recent Disney productions. The general sentiment is that moviegoers are weary of what they see as formulaic messaging, shaped by corporate agendas that focus too heavily on social or political statements at the expense of traditional storytelling. Over the last several years, Disney has repeatedly been criticized for injecting what detractors label as heavy-handed, agenda-driven content into a number of its iconic brands and franchises. This perceived repetition has fueled a sense of exasperation among consumers, many of whom have decided to stop supporting the brand at the box office. When individuals who usually purchase tickets start voicing their reasons for opting out, it becomes nearly impossible for the studio to ignore. Additionally, something else has exacerbated the situation for this Snow White remake. Behind-the-scenes drama involving the film's lead actress, Rachel Zegler, and her co-star, Gal Gadot. Due to Ziegler's unyielding demands, Disney executives felt compelled to cancel the entire two-person performance shortly before it was supposed to happen. This was no small decision. Disney had reportedly invested considerable resources into planning a lavish musical act that included backup singers, dancers, intricate costumes, and an expensive set design, all intended to celebrate and highlight the film. By the time the performance was canceled, much of that budget had already been spent. Industry analysts observing early data from test audiences and preliminary discussions are voicing concerns about the film's potential at the box office. Some suggest that Snow White may be removed from most theaters in as little as 3 weeks, a drastically short run for a high-profile Disney release. If this scenario unfolds, it would be a resounding statement that something has gone profoundly wrong, both with the movie's conceptual direction and with the corporate strategies used to market it. One of the biggest questions is how Disney could find itself in such a precarious situation. It appears the studio was caught off guard by the magnitude of public pushback against what viewers have called aggressive messaging, or politicized storytelling. Historically, Disney has thrived by offering what audiences perceived as family-friendly escapism. But critics claim that recent efforts have been overshadowed by discourse that diverges from the classic Disney charm, leading to a portion of the consumer base feeling alienated. Meanwhile, the behind-the-scenes drama involving divisive politics, personality clashes, and public spats adds further turmoil at precisely the moment when a cohesive cast and crew would be most needed. Adding to the confusion, Rachel Zegler has allegedly seized upon her rising stardom to influence corporate decisions. Several reports indicate she insisted on creative changes or marketing directives that the Disney leadership, including CEO Bob Iger, felt compelled to accept to maintain good relations with the star. Whether these actions were pragmatic or short-sighted is open to debate, but the outcome suggests that the corporation allowed an actress to override carefully arranged plans. Some commentators find this perplexing, arguing that Disney has historically protected its marketing plans with precision and seldom permits a single cast member to hold so much leverage. However, this situation could be indicative of shifting power dynamics or possibly a fear of negative publicity that could arise from refusing a star's wishes. This entire debacle has culminated in what many call the worst press tour Disney has managed in a long time. Press tours are meant to drum up excitement, highlight interesting tidbits about the film, and create a unified brand narrative that assures fans the final product is worth seeing. Instead, every new piece of news from the Snow White set depicts backstage arguments, creative disputes, or budgeting miscalculations. Each new revelation feeds the online rumor mill, prompting fans and detractors alike to speculate on just how badly things could unravel before the official release. It's another to compound those risks with very public conflicts between the leading cast members. This level of internal rift can have lasting consequences, affecting not only the immediate release, but also the willingness of these stars and perhaps other high-profile talents to work with Disney in the future. The ripple effects may well shape the entertainment landscape for years to come, either pushing Disney to reevaluate how it handles talent relations or leading it to double down on certain established practices. Of course, only time will tell how or if fences get mended. Perhaps Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot will find a way to reconcile, at least publicly, to maintain appearances for the press. If not, the friction might endure well beyond the film's theatrical run, continuing in smaller jabs during interviews or social media posts that reference their experiences. It is not unheard of for on-set clashes to linger in the public consciousness, especially if the film in question remains a divisive topic. And as this film is already controversial before its release, it could become a repeated talking point, even if it flops financially. Given the frequency with which fans and critics alike have weighed in on social media, it stands to reason that audiences feel particularly engaged with or offended by the direction of this project. Some have pointed out that the essence of Snow White as a fairy tale might be overshadowed by modern reinterpretations and controversies that deviate from the original story. Others have recognized that Disney has historically tweaked classic tales, yet are surprised by how extreme or off-putting certain changes appear to be this time around. Whether or not these changes might have appealed to a more modern or progressive audience remains to be seen, but the consensus among concerned viewers is that the negative publicity significantly dwarfs any positive hype that might have existed. For those who remain curious enough to watch the film upon release, the question is, how will these tensions and controversies color their viewing experience? Will they see the film as a testament to behind-the-scenes chaos that overshadowed a potentially magical adaptation? Or will they set aside all of the drama, try to enjoy the film for what it is, and then judge it based on its own merits? The latter approach may be ideal for objective critical assessment,